Oh. Oh.
Of the time of me making
You went to the gym and saw a girl with a really big butt? That's cool. That's really cool.
I'm pro stealing from big corporations. Yeah, no, I'm pro piracy all the way, like across the board. We gotta get back to cool crimes like that, like, you know, bank robberies. Chaos, full chaos. Let's go. I mean, look.
Hassan Piker is.
This guy is out of, like, he's literally a fascist who just wants to destroy society. Holy fuck.
Hyping theft and lawlessness. We're getting into the absolute chaos that would ensue if we followed this insane worldview today. On The Legal Mindset, we teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and this is a Fast Facts video, the quick and nerdy version of the latest in legal news. So let's get right into the clips with the latest in Hassan's insane takes on theft.
Would you steal from Whole Foods?
You want to go first?
And this is a real fun part to start because when you see here, he defers to the audience, he defers to the interviewer, and this is very much on point and going to be consistent through everything Hassan does, where he really is just going with what opinion he feels is popular, what opinion he feels is safe in that space, right? That's really what he's going for here, is thinking, okay, I'm going to come into this and see how cool they think theft is, and then we're going to riff from there. And that's really an overall theme in all of this interview that he did.
Well,
right, guys?
I'm pro stealing from big corporations because, you know, they steal quite a bit more from their own workers. However,
and this is kind of the big gift here. He wants to, and other people want to go off of, okay, we hate corporations, therefore theft is okay. But the problem is, if you start with corporations and normalizing theft and saying theft is okay in X circumstance, there really are no brakes on that crazy train. And you're going to see him try to cope and get over this time and time again in this interview.
one thing that might even help your ethical dilemma is the fact that the automated process that they design, these companies know will increase shrink, right? So it's actually factored in. The lemons that you stole are factored into the bottom line of these mega corporations regardless, and they still end up having increased profit margins because they no longer have to pay the cashiers that they...
And this is categorically not true. There is a certain level of shrinkage that is, or loss that is factored in. However, at a certain point, corporations, as somebody who's worked with corporations knows, they are going to implement measures to stop that. So what they're going to do at a certain point is they're going to implement loss protection, right? They're going to do other things. Even if you push them far enough, as you're going to see, they will close down stores.
They come here, they steal. Now what's going to happen to this neighborhood?
Shoplifting on a large scale has become a national crisis. Target's East Harlem store is one of 9 locations. It's closing nationwide, all for the same reason.
CVS, they're all closing. These guys are shoplifting left and right, and it's horrible.
The residents here have some choice advice for shoplifters.
Get a job.
So as you can see, there will be consequences if the the shrinkage is not contained.
Used to hire as opposed to this automated system, knowing full well that people are still going to be able to still steal a lot more efficiently, as a matter of fact, through the automated process.
Totally. Well, I'll also.
And that's not the only thing. For example, there can also implement measures like RFID, et cetera, to stop that. There's plenty of ways to stop that. For example, they can justify the corporation.
Bradley Martin is friends with Hassan. Dude, Bradley Martin's a fucking retard. He's actually just straight up fucking retarded. Like, he'll get Nick Fuentes on his fucking podcast. He'll, like, be all pro-Palestine. He'll fucking be friends with Hassan. Like, what the... Like, there's something wrong with the guy. He's just stupid.
Can justify hiring 1 security guard, 2 security guards, right, instead of X amount of cashiers. There's ways to stop this. So his plan here, his thought process doesn't really break down in terms of even corporate logic inside a corporation. But what goes beyond that is a lot of the stores that you may think are corporations, they may have some big brand label. These may be franchises, may be owned by families, may be family run and operated. So these things that you think are big corporate may actually be stealing from somebody who is absolutely your neighbor.
Yeah.
But what about the argument that if everyone just starts stealing wantonly from these self-checkout machines, Whole Foods will eventually raise the prices?
Not just, once again, not just raise the prices, they will actually shut down the store. Target did this in 2003, once again, with 9 stores they shut down in San Francisco, New York, Portland, Seattle. So it's not just they're going to raise the prices, they're going to shut down the stores. And the stores are going to shut down are going to be in the areas with the poorest of people, with the people that maybe are committing these thefts, or areas that are very high in crime. So you're going to end up with areas that do not have stores, that literally do not have places for people to go to buy things, because those stores have just said, hey, we're just going to pull out of that area and not serve that area. So in the end, this ends up hurting stores in places that are the most vulnerable. And of course, the stores that are in Hassan's neighborhood, the wealthy neighborhoods of LA, those aren't going to shut down, right? That's not going to hurt him. So he really doesn't care. He just is putting this out there for a political talking point.
Yeah, chaos, full chaos. Let's go. I mean, look,
I just don't understand how this, like, guy who's a boring retard, who just doesn't know shit, he's just such a fucking gay little bitch. Why does he have an audience? Like, can somebody please explain to me how the fuck this guy has any level of fame? There's just nothing about him that, like, makes me understand why somebody like this would get any attention. He's fucking stupid. He doesn't know fucking anything. He's not particularly good looking. Like, he's fine, but, you know, he's not in crazy shape, doesn't have, like, this chiseled jaw, is not handsome like Brad Pitt. Just why?
I'm in favor of fast and free buses, and also government-owned storefronts.
As if a culture of stealing wouldn't affect a government-run storefront. This is the most insane thing ever. Or wouldn't keep people, for example, from going on the bus without paying. Once you've created that culture of criminality and you've got it into people's heads that they can just steal, they're not suddenly going to stop stealing because they go to the grocery store and they're like, oh, well, this is government funded, so I shouldn't steal from this. No, they're going to say, hey, look, I'm not paying that much in taxes, or I don't care about, these other people paying taxes. I'm going to steal from this. Or people from out of town, people from other places that aren't paying those taxes. Yeah, they're going to come in there and steal. So his whole dividing line here is not something that actually functions in reality.
And, 2 of those policies, the mayor of this beautiful city is currently working on.
Would you encourage stealing in the same way from a Mamdani-run city-owned grocery store with lower prices? And why?
I would not, because I feel like that's taxpayer funded. And the prices are this union labor, and the prices are also adjusted regardless.
That is absolutely false, right? Once again, you're going to end up in a situation where these government stores would be stolen from as well. They'd face the exact same problem as the corporate store. What would be different, right? What would be different in the minds of the people that have now normalized that theft behavior, normalized that criminal behavior? There absolutely would be nothing different there at all.
Like, by the way, just look at what happened under, like, Mao's communism, right? You have an entire generation of old people who steal everything. like it's a meme in China where you've got these like granny boomers who just go to restaurants, fucking steal anything they fucking can. They'll like steal people's flowers out of their fucking garden. They'll steal like, you know, dirt for their own garden. Like they steal everything. It's bizarre. Even at like buffets, they have like these weird ways of just stacking the plate so ridiculously high to just take as much as they possibly can. Like that's what ends up happening when you have like these stupid retard communist ideas where, oh, stealing's okay because somebody had to take advantage of somebody else to even be able to like get money and produce these things. Like, why the fuck does this guy have an audience? It's just insane, dude. Like, he's actually destroying society.
Also, that criminality would go through, and the people that would get caught for these crimes would be people that are perhaps the teenage listeners of Hassan that would end up now as career criminals that have got that in their system, would be put into the prison system, put into the penal system, and have that normalized for their lifetime. This would hurt extremely vulnerable people, but it doesn't end there for Hassan.
Yeah, no, I'm pro piracy all the way, like across the board. Would you pirate a car? Yes. I'm like, yeah, sure. If I could get away with it, if it was as easy as
yeah, and see, that's the thing there. It isn't easy. And the thing is, for a nepo baby like Hassan, who's only got experience riding polo horses, which he probably couldn't even steal anyways,
Jesus.
right? But even at that point, right, it's not easy to do these things, or else other people would do them, right? These things are things that people would do if they were capable of doing them, but they're not. But encouraging petty retail theft, he's putting that out there as something that, once again, people can do, people might know how to do, but would cause massive amounts of problems all around the United States. And once again, would only end up hurting the very people in those communities, and also the poorest, perhaps the workers, etc. When they close down those stores, where are those workers going to go? Now, Target, when it closed down their stores in 2023, did transfer a lot of the employees, but not all of them are going to be there. Many of them are not going to be let go. Other people, many of them will be let go, and some of them will not be rehired, etc., may not want to transfer to a new location. So this is just going to end up hurting people that actually need that money the most.
You know, pirating IP, I would do it. Yeah.
Would you dine and dash from your local diner?
Never. Tip 35%. Mike's, come on.
No, I wouldn't do that. And if I saw...
And once again, you see, as with the beginning, he waited for the response there and then saw, okay, everyone's against this, we're not going to do that. But the problem here is, once again, that a lot of those places you think are corporate are actually owned by mom and pops, right? And if you really get down to it and you start to go into this lawlessness, etc., you're going to see people, families defending their businesses. We're going to end up with a rooftop Korean type situation with people defending their businesses that they put their hard-earned money into, which is all that he's encouraging here, which is very, very, very dangerous.
Would you steal from the Louvre?
Yes.
Would I cheer on every news story of people that I see doing it? Absolutely.
And this is the whole thing, is that this is just a dream for these people. This is something they've seen in a heist movie, and they've seen like Ocean's 11 or something like that, and they want to try to be the protagonist or whatever in a movie or story. But unfortunately for nepo babies like Hassan, this is reality. This is not a movie. This is not something that you're just seeing on TV. This is reality. He is not Luffy, right? He's not out there able to actually go out and do these things. He has none of the skills to do these things. He has none of the ability. And he's actually just encouraging other people, once again, his teenage audience here, to go out.
You stroking your chest, man?
And do these things, which I think is absolutely dangerous. And I think it's a reason why the platforms should look at, hey, can we really have somebody on our platform who's encouraging this behavior amongst the audience, amongst kids, teens, etc., that are watching this content?
Are you for or against vaping? Also, how are you, VG?
Vaping's stupid. So if you want to cause yourself lung damage, then go ahead and vape. I'm fine. I'm just tired. Really tired. Thanks for the donation, Rick.
Content, consuming this content. I mean, I think this is a problem. And if I was an advertiser on that platform, I would be deeply concerned about this as well.
Absolutely.
Dodo donated $2.
宝贝儿，你是东西最强，太美了，我操！哎呦，极品型的还挺好的。不，我操，这俩牛逼！宝贝儿，给我打个来。哎呦我去，这背影绝了啊！确实顶美。You guys know race mixing was illegal up until 2000. Huh? Race mixing was illegal up until 2002. You're going to give up 50,000 years of evolution if you mix up with.
So why aren't they complaining about Chinese data centers? Weird. I don't think that's true. Wait. Oh. Wait, that's not possible. That doesn't sound possible. 10 days? She probably fucked some other dude. Why are you sending me this fucking horseshit?
Is a stunning thing to read, Mr. President. He appears to reference a motive in it. He writes this quote, administration officials, they are targets. And he also wrote this, I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I was waiting for you to read that because I knew you would, because you're horrible people, horrible people. Yeah, he did write that. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody.
Do you think he was referring to you?
Excuse me. I'm not a pedophile. You read that crap from some sick person. I got associated with all stuff that has nothing to do with me. I was totally exonerated. Your friends on the other side of the plate are the ones that were involved with, let's say, Epstein or other things. But I said to myself, you know, I'll do this interview and they'll probably, I read the manifesto, you know, he's a sick person, but you should be ashamed of yourself reading that because I'm not any of those things.
Mr. President,
and I
these
was
are
never,
the gunman's words.
Excuse me. You shouldn't be reading that on 60 Minutes. You're a disgrace. But go ahead, let's finish the interview.
The other thing that he wrote in
disgraceful.
The other thing in the manifesto that I think is worth looking at in terms of determining his motive is he had been staying at the hotel since Friday. He checked in, he said he had cased the place, and he wrote, what the hell is the Secret Service doing? And he wrote this quote, I expected security cameras at every bend, bugged hotel rooms, armed agents every 10 feet, metal detectors out the wazoo. What I got is nothing. He wrote, like, this level of incompetence is insane. Sir, you have already had two attempted...
Well, he was pretty incompetent, too, because he got caught. And he got caught pretty easily. So I'd say he was pretty incompetent, too. You know, I could take any event having to do with security or anything else. I can always find fault. Those guys did a good job last night. They did a really good job.
I mention that because, again, as his motive, and you brought this up, he had social media accounts that had anti-Trump and anti-Christian rhetoric.
You should read, why don't you read all the anti-Trump? Why don't you read it? You just did, so why don't you read it?
Well, he had a lot of anti-Christian rhetoric. He was part of a group called the Wide Awakes. He had attended a No Kings protest in California.
That's a very weird reaction, but yeah, the guy who tried to assassinate Trump again is just some crazy lefty wacko.
Sup VG got diagnosed with ADHD. They are giving me the choice to get on Vivance or other stimulants of my choice. Do you think it's worth it getting on it? I know some cook their brains on this stuff.
I have no idea, dude. I don't know how bad your ADHD is. I don't know how you respond to these medications. I don't know why you're asking me. I have no fucking clue. Thanks for the donation, Raymond.
Why are you tired? If I brought my massage table over to your house and set it up in your bedroom or the basement and gave you an ice-oiled deep tissue massage, would you fall asleep while I'm massaging you? I'd get on top of you to get enough weight on you.
No, I don't think I could sleep. Thanks for the donation, Daddy James Wade.
What a horrible ideology.
In the Soviet Union, gyms were officially banned, even though training for your health or improving labor productivity was encouraged. Lifting weights for the purpose of aesthetics was considered capitalistic and not in line with the Soviet spirit. But as you can expect, it didn't stop some Soviet citizens, and they built illegal underground gyms called kachalka, which means the place to pump in Russian. They used scrap metal from factories to weld their own weights and machines. Then they placed it in the basements of communal apartments and only allowed people they trusted to come in and work out. Even though these underground gyms were illegal, many policemen often ignored them when they discovered them in basements, simply to leave some space for young Soviet people to enjoy their life. Today, almost all post-Soviet countries have modern gyms like those in the West, but kachalka culture still exists as an old-school, hardcore and respected alternative to regular gyms. In the Soviet...
Yeah, that's what communism does. Just makes everything gay and retarded. Thanks for the donation, Black Market Lifter. Sengoku donated $2. That is one of the stupidest squats I've ever fucking seen in my life. Well, that's just dumb looking. Thanks for the donation, Sengoku.
Yeah, I think it's cool. We gotta get back to cool crimes like that, like, you know, bank robberies, right? Stealing priceless artifacts.
Once again, all of this is absolute dreaming.
I paid $3.99.
Continue scanning.
What the f***
they pulled out due to theft.
Frank Tufano, immense. Did he upload something minty? Yeah, some of this looks like it might be good.
Just imagined my oiled body against yours, you just in boxers and me just in a jock strap. I'll be on top of you massaging your body with mine. Bite your ears a little bit, whisper into them. Isaac and Pat can watch from a Discord call as you fall asleep. So Hassan is trying to justify crime now, my god.
Yeah, he's really, really dumb. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. I also don't want to imagine that, James, but thanks for the donation.
Every order this week will be getting free organic white Hannah sweet potatoes, and these are a super special and delicious product. But because we're not selling as much organic produce as I anticipated.
Wow, free potato? Oh my god. Like, dude.
There's still a weekly order requirement, so I have to place an order for something, and for me, I just decided, hey, let's give something different away every week if we have to. So the past few weeks, we didn't have to do that. I think 1 week we did have to give away some apples. This week, it's going to be organic white Hannah sweet potatoes. This is an amazing product from a farm out in California called Natural Beauty. Really, really delicious, organic, white-fleshed, very healthy, completely new staple in my diet because I feel so well and they digest really well. So I wanted to relay that to you guys so you can try it out without having to buy our starch package and see if you like them. All orders on Frankie's Strange Meat this week will get a few of these potatoes for free. We've come out with a lot of new products over these past few months, including an entirely new selection of wild boar, as well as goat, dozens and dozens of products we haven't had before. And I spent a few hours updating the website, so I wanted to show you guys that.
Wild boar is a misnomer. You cannot sell any wild game. It's considered animal trafficking. So it's just a particular breed of pig that they're selling. That's all it is. It's not wild.
And if you go on your computer, on your desktop, it's pretty cool to see everything. On your phone, mobile, you're going to be scrolling a lot because there's so much stuff, even just on the main page. But the front is kind of the same. We have our popular items at the top, a little more consolidated, showing the sourdough products and the main important beef products. We have all of our Amish eggs. You scroll down a little bit more, you get to see all of the local Amish dairy, and those eggs and dairy are restocked every week, which is why we have them at the top. Then we have our roast meat selection, and these are prepared fresh every week. Mainly the roast beef and the oven roast turkey breast, so we kind of want people to buy those weekly as they come in. And then you just have our other soups, like our bone broths, our chicken stocks, our meat soups, and our charcuterie, like the bacon and the hot dogs.
Why the fuck is Ozempic still so expensive with low insurance coverage that's causing people not to trust Big Pharma? It's basically this complicated price fixing scheme in the United States. That's all it is. You don't need to get Ozempic through a doctor. Everyone's just a fucking retard. Just go on a gray market website and order it. Most people are just really fucking stupid, so... Ozempic drug, doctor give drug expensive. I guess I can only get drug through doctor because doctor give drug. I have to give doctor money now. Oh no! Like, that's... So you can order drugs online for fucking way, way cheaper. Like, you're talking about versus paying through insurance, like 10 times lower the cost. So they're like, people are just fucking stupid. That's why the black and gray market exists, because these stupid pharmaceutical companies and insurance companies, they just play fucking games, and they charge too much, and they're fucking stupid, so... Just order it on the fucking black or gray market. But most people are too dumb to do that.
Are you into BDSM? I am. I have lots of toys I can bring over. You can be my new toy. Would love to spank you a bit too. Maybe record a video for the OnlyFans as well. Cool face emoji, steam locomotive emoji.
We won't be doing any of that, but thanks for the donation, Daddy James.
Just when you couldn't hate the UK more.
Most teenagers in the UK will soon be banned from ever buying cigarettes at any point in their lifetime. That's down to a new law.
Yeah, they're just gonna buy fucking vapes. Like, my god, dude. They're just gonna buy vapes, and as far as I can tell, at least some of the nicotine-based vape fluid, it seems to be as bad, if not worse, than cigarettes, so... Especially with the vape fluid, it can cause very rapid, sudden damage to your lungs. They call it popcorn lung, so... yeah. Just have kids do that. I don't know if this is really gonna do anything. Who knows?
Law that just passed the British Parliament.
It is a landmark bill, my lords. It will create a smoke-free generation.
Which says that anyone born on or after January 1st, 2009 will never legally be able to buy cigarettes in the UK. So even in 20 years, when today's teens are in their 30s, they'll still be barred from buying tobacco products.
Yeah, so they're just gonna order this shit online, or it's gonna get smuggled into the country, and then they're just gonna buy it on the black market.
Around 1 in 10 British adults smoke, according to government data, a similar proportion to the US. And supporters hope the new law will cut down on the 64,000 deaths linked to smoking every year.
We have great optimism that that this change in the law will mean that very many fewer people who are currently 17 and younger will ever smoke.
But critics say that grown-ups should be able to make their own decisions about whether to smoke. We head onto the streets of central London to ask people what they think.
It would be quite good for not only people's health, but the environment and other people if you were to ban smoking, because obviously everyone knows how bad it is for you.
To make it illegal, it actually adds on like that adrenaline, I guess, of doing something that is banned for that age. That would like make it seem more cool.
We should empower people to make their own decisions about themselves. I think it's a...
Like... yeah. If they're gonna allow for alcohol, what is the rationale behind only banning smoking? If they're gonna make some kind of case for it costing the NHS so much money, then I don't know why you wouldn't just tax it to compensate for the NHS costs. Thanks for the donation though, Dodo.
If you wanna be a real nigga, you gotta talk like 1G. You still got a lot to learn, homie. LARPing? Fuck you mean cuz? Fuck that is? Cuz we was kings and shy it. You feel me, nigga?
Yeah. Dude, I'm really not into Facebook. Bro, the amount of it never ends too. I ban or block every fucking AI page I see. There is so much AI slop now. And it's endless. I block all of it. I have blocked literally thousands of fucking pages. And I still get recommended this shit on my fucking timeline. It's insane. It never ends. I don't know who the fuck can use Facebook at this point. Like, it's just so terrible. Like, I've literally blocked thousands of pages. And it just doesn't end. They just keep recommending AI horseshit.
Are you sure? It's always better to have your first time with a guy, with an older gentleman who's as experienced as I, and knows what they're doing. I'll show you the ropes, play with your balls and butt, tease your pee-pee, and record it too.
Well, thanks for the offer, James, but I think I'll pass. Thanks for the donation.
Smoking should be banned in the US too. The savings on insurance and healthcare costs alone make it worth it. Not to mention who the fuck likes breathing secondhand smoke? I could imagine a small number of people find a way to buy them still, but most no.
Just tax it. Just tax it to make up for the, loss and other forms of productivity. It's that simple. Thanks for the donation, Sid.
Hey VG, would you say that melanotan 2 is safe if I plan on being on it for life like testosterone? What dose would you recommend for a 30-year-old male? Any side effects and things I should look out for, and what do you think of it? Thanks, man.
Melanotan 2 is perfectly safe. The only, downside to it is, it gives you, erections. So, even if you're not noticeably aroused, you're just doing stuff, you might, just end up pitching a tent in your pants. So, if you're, a school teacher, and all of a sudden your wiener is poking out of your pants in front of your 8th grade class, you might not really want that. Some people don't get a great cosmetic effect from it either. There's some people with freckles where only your freckles will get darker and the rest of your skin won't get an even tan. There's stuff like that, but as far as safety is concerned, it's fine. I also don't know what you mean by being on it for life. If you keep taking it, you're gonna have skin that's just ridiculously dark as fuck, you're transracial or something. Thanks for the donation, hey. Sid donated $2. You could tax the shit out of it, but also ban smoking in public areas. I'd be fine enough with that, but that's essentially the same as banning it. I'm indifferent, perfectly fine with banning smoking. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know why you'd, ban that particular drug. Just tax it. It is already taxed, but tax it and just ban smoking in public areas. That simple. Thanks for the donation though, Sid. Dodo donated $2.
All kind of weight you want to, bro. The fuck?
I can talk to you however the hell
No,
I
you
want to.
cannot.
Go back to your damn country if you want to act like that.
Back to the... You just told me to go back to my country?
Yes, I did say that.
Bitch, I saw your fucking EBT card in there. Guess who?
So what?
Guess who paid for that motherfucking shit?
What?
I did.
Oh, well.
Bitch, you know how...
Bitch, how you want me to feed my kids? I'm fat.
Oh my fucking God, boy, you got me...
Yeah, so this is fake.
中東から来る大型タンカーに比べると少し小さく細めの船となっています。
このタンカーはアメリカ産の原油およそ
Yep. They're down bad.
Homelander bill. Clav's way of the sad part is it actually works. Kind of like
So did you get full ownership?
Okay, yeah.
It's just dumb OnlyFans bitches, dude. It's all just
which is how this individual entered this country on a visitor's visa. Okay, you are here as a visitor. We can deny you that visa. We can deny you that if you tell us when you apply, hi, I'm trying to get into the United States on a student visa. I am a big supporter of Hamas, a murderous, barbaric group that kidnaps children, that rapes teenage girls, that takes hostages, that allows them to die in captivity, that returns more bodies than live hostages. If you tell us that you are in favor of a group like this, and if you tell us when you apply for your visa, and by the way, I intend to come to your country as a student and rile up all kinds of anti-Jewish student, anti-Semitic activities. I intend to shut down your universities. If you told us all these things when you applied for a visa, we would deny your visa. I hope we would. If you actually end up doing that, once you're in this country on such a visa, we will revoke it. And if you end up having a green card, not citizenship, but a green card as a result of that visa while you're here in those activities, we're going to kick you out. It's as simple as that.
After 2 years of growth, a study by the Citizens Budget Commission shows more people moved out of New York City than moved in 2025. That's according across all income levels. Okay, so take a look. Before any of this year's proposals on tax changes, the drop is mainly attributed to a 70% drop in international migration. Our Angela Bavaro hitting the streets to ask you to pop off about why you would leave or stay in the city.
New York sucks. It's too expensive. It's dirty. There's ratchet-ass fucktards everywhere, and the city's run by a fucking terrorist, jihad Muslim retard now, so...
Why do you think people are leaving this
Yeah, like, how the fuck could you even live here? It's just ridiculous.
city?
It's become pretty unaffordable, unfortunately. It's super expensive to get a cup of coffee, and rents are obviously pretty high here.
You live in this city?
No, I live outside the city for just that reason.
Too expensive. I mean, I got a decent job. I can't afford to live here. I got to come commute in every day. I can't imagine who can live here.
The prices and the inflation that's going on in the city.
Taxes and price of everything else. Real estate, very dirty. I have a lot of friends that still live in Brooklyn. And as you go by Brooklyn, they used to make fun of the Italians, how we used to clean the streets, the sidewalks. I can show you videos like how everything is just full of dirt.
It's very expensive out here, and also it's very crowded.
It's a great city to work in. It's a great place to socialize, but actually living here, it's, you really need to make quite a bit of money.
You live in the city?
I used to live in the city. Now I'm in Jersey. Moved out.
Wow. My goodness. Oh, wow. There's so many kitties. They're all friends. Oh my god. Wow. Oh, wow. It's funny how they all do cat stuff. Cats are like birds. They can go up in trees. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
And SJWS say only white people can be racist.
Yeah, more than just whites can be racist. Let me tell you.
So I don't know anybody who lives in Manhattan or, the Bronx, Queens. They all come from Jersey, Long Island, Staten Island.
What do you think the city needs to do to get people to come back?
Build. I mean, Mondani's talking about it. That's all he can do.
They're doing some work around trying to make childcare more affordable for some of the families and take on childcare.
It feels like there's no...
Here's how to make childcare more affordable. Make more fucking money before you have kids, you fucking dumb fuck.
more middle class.
Just so fucking stupid.
I'm so happy I left New York once I did.
Yeah, that was a good call, clearly. Holy fuck, imagine living there now. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
It feels like there's either poor or rich.
Have you thought about leaving?
Sometimes, but I'm like...
The evolutionary past.
I like to embrace it.
Everyone.
Like, I feel like if I was placed somewhere else, I wouldn't like it. More because I'm a...
And this is the biggest change here because we've added a lot of new products and we've also separated a lot of things. The beef at the top is the same, so I'm not going to cover that. But since we've added goat, instead of having the lamb with a few cuts of goat, we've entirely separated everything. So you have lamb, venison, and goat. All the different cuts, you guys can look at those. Same thing with the poultry. Previously, all of the poultry was kind of just lumped together. Your chicken, turkey, duck, and goose, everything was kind of together. But since we have so many different cuts of every type of poultry, you can now look at your chicken, your duck, your turkey, and your goose. Everything nice and separate. You know, you're looking at 10 or 12 products. You're not getting overwhelmed with a whole page of 50. Same with the pork. You know, we've separated all of the different types of pork. You have your Iberico, Spanish hams and porks, and then you have the local Amish pork, and then you have the wild boar. So it's kind of nicely organized where you can look at all of the individual products. This doctor is such an insane psychopath that if anyone heard my story, they would never step foot in a doctor's office again. Because how could a human being behave like that? He's not. He's not a human being. He's got to be some type of demon to be that much of an insane psychopath that you would never get any medical procedure again unless you were on your, deathbed, unless you were on death's door, let alone an unnecessary cosmetic plastic surgery. Because how is it, after 2+ years of this botched battle, this doctor is still trying to lie, gaslight, and manipulate the online space to paint Frank Tufano as some type of crazy schizophrenic lunatic? Really? That's the best they could come up with? Frank went to the...
This guy believes that, New York City is at least 30,000 years old. He thinks some kind of secret cabal of Jews has been resetting human society and causing mass human extinction events. He still believes that a Jewish secret society that he calls the Illuminati exists and is controlling the world. So yeah, you may be like schizophrenic.
Dr. Taban and forced the doctor to do all these unnecessary procedures on him that were highly risky. And Frank begged Dr. Taban to take his $40,000 to gouge his eyes out. That's the best they could come up with. That's their best story. Unfortunately for them, Dr. Taban is such an arrogant, manipulative, gaslighting genius that he published his own study about how orbital decompression, which is a highly risky procedure only used in Graves' disease patients, literally people so deformed, literal frog eyes popping out of their head. That's the only scenario they use this procedure because it's so risky. But he, almost 10 years ago, wrote this paper that it can be used aesthetically to improve your looks. Orbital decompression may be done for cosmetic purpose, effectively and safely to reduce eye prominence in non-thyroid patients by an experienced orbital surgeon. Seems like to me, and I've said this before, that it's just a money-making scheme. Dr. Taban saw this procedure, that he could charge a lot of money for it, and decided to turn it into this cosmetic thing. No one else is doing it, and no one else believes it's safe, because the aesthetic results really aren't that good, especially compared to the risk. It seems like 90% plus patients that he's operating. He's got 5 good photos on his website after doing hundreds and hundreds, not even 5 good photos, maybe 2 or 3, after doing hundreds and hundreds of these procedures. So it's really just a sophisticated money-making scheme.
Let me search. Orbital. Yeah, this is like more than 5. So this is a lot more than just 5 photos. This is literally the exact procedure Frank got, and it's kind of a lot of these photos. So he's lying. Like what is that? At least 20, like maybe 30. I wasn't counting, but it's a lot. Like you can just see how far I have to scroll down. That's for the decompression surgery alone, not including eyelid surgery and all that shit. So he's just lying.
Scheme. It's nothing beyond that. He's not a skilled surgeon. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's trying to extract as much money from people as possible. And this manipulating and gaslighting and lying and trying to shut me up, all they care about is money at the end of the day. They don't care about improving their surgery.
I can't wait until this guy just fully ruins his life.
What would you do if this was your house on a Sunday night after you got home from working all weekend? What would you do, huh? At what point is someone going to help me? At what point is this insurance company going to pay me? I'm soaking wet, covered in mold and insulation. I should have probably just left that, but the dehumidifier malfunctioned because I was trying to mitigate the damages. Completely flooded the only part of my house that wasn't already damaged. I should have honestly probably just left the drywall up, let it dry out, let the attic dry out with the dehumidifiers up there, however long it took. Instead, I decided to cut it down and had a torrential rain pour on me. I don't know what I should have done, but you can see all the black mold, everything. The insulation's completely soaked and flooded. This is insanity. This is insanity. I mean, I don't know how to, this is an insane undertaking. I don't know if I'll be able to fix this. I'll never be able to afford it. It's fucking unlivable.
So why did he remove the shingles off of his house?
I want this Lackawanna County judge to watch this video before reviewing my motion to expedite because my house is unlivable. It's destroyed. I just had a dehumidifier in the attic malfunction and destroy the only part of my house inside that was somewhat intact. And this is because the initial insurance claim was denied. I had no roof on the house. Every room was flooding besides this one. So I put dehumidifiers to mitigate the damage. As the insurance company says, you should mitigate the damage. Well, the dehumidifier malfunctioned and flooded here because the dehumidifier was above this space in the attic. And now, look at all that mold. This thing must have been malfunctioning for weeks, if not a month or two, however long it was up. Look at all this black mold on this drywall. Tons and tons of mold all on this drywall. I went to cut that out, it just fell on me. And there's water, you could hear the water dripping. I filmed a few other videos before I cut this out, but I really didn't expect it to be this bad. You can see all the mold. I'll flip the camera around to give you guys a closer look. All that I think is I think that's mold on the joist there. And dripping like crazy. Insane amount of water up there from that dehumidifier malfunctioning. I don't know if I can take that. I think they might have actually put 2 layers of faced insulation. I might be able to take, oh no, I can't look. All the blown in insulation is falling in too. That's what I'm covered in. So this insulation is soaking wet, so it's seeping down. But if I take that out, you're gonna have all that blown in gray stuff, the dark gray stuff, fall in and collapse down. So I'm just gonna, hopefully it didn't go into the bedroom. This is a fucking disaster, dude. This is how I spend my Sunday night. After working all day Sunday, this is what I come home my Sunday night. After I eat, ready to lie in bed, this is what I'm doing for hours. It'll take me hours to fix this and clean this up. Oh, and I just smell that. Now I'm exposing my house to all this mold and all my bedroom area to all this mold. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I'm gonna have to leave the windows open now with the dehumidifiers running. My electric bills are gonna be crazy. The dehumidifiers aren't gonna be as effective, but I can smell it. I can smell that now. It's really bad. I'm gonna have to move that big dehumidifier in here for the day. Hopefully that helps.
Why did he do this?
Lackawanna County, Tufano versus Meager Insurance, motion to expedite filed. Man, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. I bet you they'll deny the motion too. I bet you they'll deny the motion. I'm literally in a house that is in an unlivable situation that they refuse to pay me to fix. Well over 6 figures in damage now. Amazing.
Yeah. Dodo $90, the ending. Can't watch that.
Come on, pull. Darren Mark is ready to do this. Darren Mark is...
This may be the rarest fish on Earth, and it lives in the middle of the desert. At just over 3 centimeters long, the devil's hole pupfish has adapted to withstand conditions that most other fish just couldn't survive. Dramatically higher water temperatures, low oxygen, and limited food. They've evolved in complete isolation in the middle of Death Valley for at least 100 and potentially thousands of years. One survival tactic scientists have discovered is that when oxygen levels in the water get too low, the fish produce ethanol and essentially get a little drunk to survive the lack of oxygen. This fish's seemingly impossible existence makes them a focus for scientists who've been observing, recording, and learning from this small school of extremophiles since 1972. These little fish are so important that scientists have even fostered a lifeboat population to keep the fish from going extinct. Devil's Hole is a mystery of its own, and no one knows exactly how deep it goes, but scientists have recorded seiches, large rocking waves, in this spot in reaction to earthquakes around the Ring of Fire. These waves disrupt the limited pupfish habitat and make it even harder for the population to survive. The more we can learn from these tiny, mighty fish, the better chance we have at preparing for life in extreme conditions.
Okay, thanks for the donation, Dodo.
So basically he thinks that New York City has been around since the Stone Age.
Yeah, basically. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
What's next? Does he also think woolly mammoths helped build the Empire State Building too?
Probably not, since they're woolly mammoths. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. Dodo donated $2. Destiny's two-faced.
He's outside your houses right now asking them to foreclose on them.
God, I hate these people. God, I'm so curious on how they live with themselves. Ugh.
Welcome back to the #1 podcast in
3.9% or something.
Yeah, he decided there's no rich people left in New York, so he's looking for other cities.
Is it 3.9% a year? Is it per year, or is it?
I don't know if the percentage has been released yet, but the speculation I've seen is 3.9%. But I don't think that's final. But yeah, it's a Piata tax. So if you have a second home, every year.
Wow. And by the way, it's for any home over $5 million. There's no homes under $5 million in Manhattan. This is not a rich person tax. This is within 15 miles.
Does homes include condos as well? What is the average?
Yeah, whatever. They can all say whatever they want. He's gonna fuck over New York anyway. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
I want a hot vegan redhead girlfriend.
Alright, well, good luck with that, Ben. Thanks for the donation.
The Uber getting robbed video I sent you, the black kids robbed a Uber driver, then asked if he's Muslim and he said yes, and they said some Muslim prayer Arab thing and left. It's funny how they robbed him then blessed him, like that's Islam in a nutshell for you.
Yeah, they don't care. They just do that stupid shit. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. I appreciate it. Oh. Oh, shit.
They probably would've killed him if he said he wasn't Muslim. VG, if you were ever robbed or attacked by some Muslim youths and they ask if you are Muslim, just say yes, okay?
I think I'll just shoot first. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Track to lose more soldiers in April than they recruited. Put another way, the Russian army just got smaller. Again, this has happened a couple times already in 2026, and today we've got a rundown from Robert Madyar, the commander of the Ukrainian Unmanned Systems Forces, where he lays out these 3 pillars of what they're trying to accomplish.
If you are not armed or you think are not able to fight back, if they ask if you are Muslim, just say yes and say Allahu Akbar or something, because then they would feel bad if they killed you, but if you said atheist or Jew or Christian, they would happily jihad kill you.
Yeah. Probably. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. No, I wouldn't move to Vancouver. It's just a stupid communist shithole. Fuck Vancouver. Fucking gay as fuck.
Accomplished this year, and we have examples of these strikes being carried out in the last 24 hours, and the Russian response to each one of those, which, spoiler alert, not super optimistic. Now, starting out here, Madhyar said, quote, "We're patient. We'll keep grinding them down steadily and relentlessly." And he listed out 3 pillars that we're going to run through one after the other here. The first is depleting enemy manpower. The second is the destruction of the military, industrial, and energy complex. And the third is the removal of the Black Sea Fleet. For the first one, he says, quote, "For the 4th month in a row, Russia is failing mobilization, hitting only 60 to 75% of targets, and the in-out balance will be negative again this month. That is already clear as of April 26th. This is at least the 2nd month so far in 2026 where more Russians have been killed or seriously wounded than they've been able to recruit. You can imagine over the long term that becomes a bit of an issue. Now, Russia does still have the manpower advantage over Ukraine. That has not changed since the beginning of the war, but we are starting to see more and more talk inside of Russia about the possibility of mobilization or what that could mean for the situation at the front. And Fighter Bomber, a Russian mill blogger, spoke to this just a
Do an impression of Frank crying like a little baby, having now completely ruined his life.
Gum Gum. Hey, Gum Gum. What's going on? I'm only 5.5 feet tall. I'm $350,000 in credit card debt. I owe Paul Saladino $2.8 million. I've never had a girlfriend. My house is filled with mold. I can't get any new lines of credit. I lost my business. And I paid for eye surgery I didn't need that left me half blind. I'm gonna set up a GoFundMe for $700 billion for lawyer fees to sue these people. There you go. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
A couple days ago saying it just means more dead Russian soldiers. He said, quote, "I understand those who propose mobilization as an attempt to change something on the front line. But let's say we mobilize 5 million citizens. Is there even a 1% chance that in a year we have 500 more square kilometers, but 5 million fewer citizens?" So put another way, he says, what's more likely? We pull 5 million more people into our ranks. Is it more likely that we actually make territorial gains and take 500 square kilometers, which is not even that big of a chunk when compared to the rest of Ukraine? I'm not sure that would even be the remainder of Donetsk. I don't think it would be. So for 5 million people, 500 square kilometers, he says, or is it more likely that we just have 5 million fewer citizens? But again, when we're seeing the volume of casualties come out of the Russian army in recent months, you know that that conversation is going to get more and more traction about mobilization. If the answer is more bodies, the way to get more bodies is increase the pay. And when that runs out or you can't increase it anymore or it's not financially feasible to do that, you start mobilization. We'll see. Now, the second one, according to Robert Madhyar, he said, is castrating the military, industrial, and fuel energy complex in the swamps. This is a systematic dismantling of Russia's actual ability.
I'm convinced Hillary Clinton is one of the few Democrats left who could save the party at this point. Also, can we watch this?
Let me take a look.
It's 2000.
Hillary Clinton is way too old and she has too many health problems. She has like some weird seizure disorder thing. Like she's never gonna get elected.
2018.
And again, she's just too old and has too many health issues to be in office.
You're on Facebook. You open the menu, scroll down, and spot this little Protect button.
Thanks for the donation.
Sounds like a good idea. You tap it. Millions of others do too. You're prompted to install something called Onavo Protect, a free VPN that protects your privacy. Allegedly. If only you knew.
I'm proud that we've given people who've never had a voice before the opportunity to be heard.
Facebook accused of spying.
A VPN app called
ASD donators, what are you looking forward to the most with Pat? Sex, cuddling, or exploring Australia with her? What part of Australia is she from? Where are you going? Yeah, thanks for the donation, dude.
Onavo.
This VPN spied on almost everything users did and sent detailed data to Facebook. Potentially a giant wiretap.
It gets into the root access of your phone.
Any websites you went to, any apps you used, things along those lines. Everything you did on your phone was open to Facebook.
BTW,
and so far,
who cares about that worthless little fish in Devil's Hole anyway? They contribute nothing to nature, just let them go extinct.
I guess, whatever. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
there have been almost no legal consequences.
We're heading into a no privacy future.
We're already there, aren't we?
I mean,
but this story is even bigger than Onavo. It's a story about betrayal of trust, surveillance of minors, and corporate espionage, all in the race for market dominance. This is the Facebook scandal you've probably never heard of. Though VPN providers sometimes sponsor our videos, they aren't involved in the production of this video in any way. They didn't finance this story or suggest this coverage.
Double rainbow, oh my God.
When it comes to the internet, a lot of people remember the last decade as a simpler time. Those were the years of the Harlem Shake, the Ice Bucket Challenge, that one celebrity selfie. Compared to today, it all seems so wholesome. Back in the 2010s, many people still believed something that seems impossible today, that Facebook, of all companies, could be trusted. So when their users saw a friendly-seeming Protect button, by 2018, millions of them had tapped it. For many years, Mark Zuckerberg has been open about his goal of making Facebook the ultimate platform for connection. By 2013, that's going well. Facebook is bigger than ever and the most popular social network. In 2012, they cracked 1 billion users, and they pulled off the largest tech IPO in U.S. history, raising $16 billion in a single day. But users in the U.S. are losing interest, especially younger ones. They're usually the first to flock to newer apps. Zuckerberg is under increasing pressure. He really can't risk losing these users to other social media companies. So his strategy becomes, as it would later be described, copy, acquire, and kill. In 2012, he made Instagram an offer they couldn't refuse.
Americans share photos on Instagram, a company with only 13 employees bought today by Facebook for $1 billion.
The acquisition was ridiculed at the time. $1 billion for a cute photo app that doesn't turn a profit? Investment bankers were puzzled. It was a risky move right before Facebook's IPO.
Sleepy, you don't need $2. Frank Tufano is not just a manlet, but he may be a turbo manlet at 5'4". You be the judge. How tall is he really? Guess correctly. Be prompted in the upper Freemasonry hybrid lodge. Be given 33 pounds of the intercepted Wagyu stash in the secret freezer at customs. What is he holding there? Oh yeah, the camera. Yeah. I mean, he's like basically pure blood Sicilian, right? So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was like 5.5 feet tall. Like, he's even said he's 5.5 feet tall. He's probably adding like a half an inch there, at least. Probably 5.5 feet tall in shoes. Thanks for the donation, though, Sleepy.
The 2010s generally sucked ass, bad movies, TV shows, video games, SJWs, Trump supporters, etc. I don't know what they are talking about.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much for the most part. Yeah. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
But the move will end up paying off massively. Instagram will deliver billions of users and billions of dollars in yearly ad revenue. Just 6 years after the acquisition, Instagram's estimated worth will be 100 times what Facebook paid. For a while now, Zuckerberg has had another target in sight: Snapchat. The app was launched in the fall of 2011 by Stanford friends Evan Spiegel and Robert Murphy. Spiegel is the CEO, Murphy the developer. Snapchat is yet another photo-sharing app, but with one key difference. The images shared disappear after just a few seconds and can't be screenshotted without the sender knowing. Snapchat's appeal is in its impermanence. And, unlike on Instagram, the photos aren't meant to be perfect. They can be awkward, funny, and messy. Teenagers love it, and Zuckerberg wants in. At the end of 2012, he invited Spiegel for a chat. At the time, Facebook was building a competing app called Poke. It launched in December 2012.
Are you texting Pat right now? You're worse than Hassan at streaming. You're always tired and never ever paying attention. And your relationship is absolutely going to fail because you give her too much attention, lol.
That's great. Thanks for the donation, dude.
Failed badly. People briefed on the matter told the Wall Street Journal.
My back just fucking hurts so much. Oh. Oh my god.
Are you responsible for finding Frank Tufano? I never saw anyone else make a vid about Frank before you. Same with Svaria.
I don't know how I discovered Frank Tufano. I know he wanted to debate me at some point. Like, I think that's before I ever even made a video about him. And then he just was like the biggest retard I've ever come across. And then I looked at some of his content and he was just like a massive lolcow. And then it just started the years-long saga. I can't remember Spherage. Like, I don't even know how that happened either. But I came across him somehow, and he's, like, again, just a crazy lolcow. Thanks for the donation. I forgot my namification.
Zuckerberg then
I don't know who Actman is.
Offered to buy Snapchat for $1 billion. Now, in late 2013, he comes back with a new offer: $6 billion for the app. 6 times what he offered Instagram. A huge sum for an app that's only been around for 2 years and isn't profitable, with no guarantees that it ever will be. Spiegel and Murphy mull it over but eventually decline the offer. Spiegel will later say he didn't want to make the same mistake that Instagram did.
Our view is that Instagram had been wildly undervalued, and that acquisition ultimately had given up like a massive, massive opportunity.
Fine then. Time for a new approach. You know we cover a lot of tech stories in this channel. Almost all of these stories feature code, and recently you might have heard of vibe coding, 20 for 20% off. In 2013, Facebook acquired an Israeli startup called Onavo. Zuckerberg's company reportedly spent around $100 million on it. Back then, mobile data was expensive, especially in the US. Onavo was known for 2 products that save consumers money by helping them stretch their data plans. Onavo Extend could compress emails, photos, and app data. Onavo Count allowed users to see how much mobile data different apps were consuming. Both required users to send their data to Onavo's servers. And a few months before getting bought, they had launched their latest product.
Richard basically kickstarted Frank's career. By doing that, Richard erased all of his good deeds from converting people to veganism over the years. Since he basically made Frank, who made a meat business sells millions of dollars worth every year, thank VG.
Sure. Thanks for the donation, 21st.
A VPN called Lenovo Protect. But Facebook was probably interested in the startup for more than just data compression or traffic rerouting. Originally, Facebook made money by tracking user behavior on their site. They did this with so-called cookies. Cookies are small files that websites store in your device to remember logins, preferences, and activities. This data can then be used to sell hyper-targeted ads. But smartphones changed the game. People started using apps instead of browsers. And apps often store data internally. They track behavior through app-specific systems, making traditional browser cookies less useful. Facebook was lagging behind in the shift to smartphones. It was struggling to monetize mobile usage. So it needed insights. At the time, it was hard to know how well apps were performing. You could see how many people downloaded them, but that didn't say much about how often or how exactly they were used. Lenovo saw an opportunity to fill this knowledge gap. Thanks to the traffic that was routed through Extend and Count, the company was sitting on a treasure trove of engagement data. By acquiring the company, Facebook suddenly had a secret window into their competitors, and one app immediately stood out. Lenovo data showed that 99% of Android users in Spain had WhatsApp installed on their phones. In the US, far more mobile messages were being sent through WhatsApp than through Facebook. WhatsApp was powerful competition, yet it also promised incredible growth. This is likely one of the reasons Zuckerberg decided to pay $19 billion for it.
Facebook is making a major move into mobile this morning. The social media behemoth is buying the messaging company WhatsApp.
WhatsApp was also both a competitor and complementary.
It's a messaging app that is incredibly popular. They send billions of messages a day.
Zuckerberg made no apology for what he considers a very good deal.
Facebook also used Lenovo to gain insights into Snapchat, their arch nemesis. And there was so much they wanted to know. Perhaps most importantly, which features people actually used. But there was a problem. All the traffic sent through Lenovo's apps was increasingly hidden behind encryption. A year before the acquisition, Snowden revealed that the NSA was spying on the world. Concerns about online surveillance entered the mainstream, and suddenly everyone wanted more protection. As the decade marched on, the internet moved toward increased security, including Facebook's main competitors. Enter the rise of HTTPS. When you visit bankofamerica.com, your browser doesn't just take the website's word for it. It verifies that you're actually connecting to the site you intended to visit. It does so by requesting the website's security certificate, its digital ID. This contains information such as domain ownership, the issuing authority.
Apparently I'm severely mentally ill for trolling VG according to CDG. Even though he tried to dox Richard multiple times and wanted to add me on Discord numerous times to coordinate trolling. What a weird guy. Parents stopped giving you allowance, bud.
Yeah, that's nice. Thanks for the donation, 21st.
And its validity period. Once a certificate is issued, the site keeps it for a set period of time. To verify these certificates, your browser relies on digital judges, the so-called certificate authorities, or CAs. They issue digital IDs and verify that websites are really who they claim to be. Every time you visit, your browser checks whether it's still valid. See this little icon in your address bar? It means your browser has checked the website's certificate against its trusted list and confirmed that it links back to a trusted authority. Everything is legitimate. Then they agree on a temporary secret key for your session. From now on, only you and the site can read the traffic. Your communication is encrypted. Any data you type into bankofamerica.com travels safely to their server. Eavesdroppers can't read it. On your phone, things work similarly. Tucked deep inside your phone is a high-security vault called a trust store. It's maintained by the company that makes the operating system. Think Apple, Google, or Microsoft. By default, your phone trusts a built-in list of so-called root certificates. But users or companies can sometimes add their own trusted certificates. Some apps trust only specific pre-approved certificates. This is called certificate pinning. Even if a new certificate is added to your phone's trusted list, the app won't accept it. Like many others, Snapchat started using HTTPS. However, they didn't use certificate pinning for their analytics domain. This was Facebook's way in. In June 2016, Zuckerberg sent an email to 3 senior executives demanding that they figure out how to get around Snapchat's encryption. Whenever someone asks a question about Snapchat, the answer is usually that because their traffic is encrypted, we have no analytics about them. Given how quickly they're growing, it seems important to figure out a new way to get analytics about them. This effectively kicks off Project Ghostbusters. A few weeks after the email, the Onavo team comes up with a solution. Say you're at a library. You see free Wi-Fi, and since it's 2016 and your data plan is tiny, you connect. Just down the aisle sits a man in a hoodie named Elliot. He's about to hack you. He might be running a device from his backpack that pretends to be the library Wi-Fi. Or he's just quietly monitoring the network, looking for traffic. Either way, he can read the unencrypted info you send over the network and steal things like login credentials or credit card data. Elliot is a so-called man-in-the-middle. Because these man-in-the-middle attacks are really scary and easy to pull off, more and more people start using VPNs. They create a secure tunnel between the user's device and the VPN server. Along the way, all the data that passes through it is encrypted. From now on, it's harder for hackers to intercept or read your traffic. A VPN also hides your IP address by routing all your internet requests through its own servers. On the surface, Onavo Protect seems like a great option. It's free, it protects you, and it offers some data compression features. Plus, Facebook itself is promoting it, and tech experts are singing its praises. But Onavo Protect is doing something very sneaky. The following is based on an analysis by an Australian hacker who publishes under the alias Hacksrob. We cannot independently verify the results. It all starts with a nudge. When you install the app on Android, it says, "Your privacy is a top priority." Then, Onavo reportedly prompts you to install a trusted root certificate on your device. Once permission is granted, the root certificate is installed. It will then be trusted by many applications on your phone. Now, whenever your Snapchat app wants to send some analytics data to their server, Onavo forces that traffic to its server first, because it's a VPN. Hacksrob reports that a service called Squid places itself between the app and Snapchat's analytics server. It presents a certificate to your phone. "Yo, I'm totally legit." Your phone accepts it because of the judge powers Facebook gave itself. Yeah, this is totally legit. Normally, only Snapchat would be able to decrypt this data. But because Onavo installed its own trusted certificate, it can unlock the traffic first. Now all these Snapchat analytics from your phone
Richard
get
the
decrypted.
first time paying for 3 sit-ups. Thank you, sir. Hey 21st.
I'll do that tomorrow or something. My back is too fucked up right now. Thanks for the donation though, dude.
And land on Onavo's servers. Detailed in-app activity, ripe for the taking. Next, Squid uses a separate HTTPS connection with Snapchat's real server and re-encrypts the traffic. From the app's perspective, the connection appears normal. According to Hacksrob, it isn't clear whether all app users were targeted, or just a subset of users. We asked Meta for a comment on Hacksrob's findings, but didn't receive a response. So in a startling case of irony, a VPN marketed by Facebook to protect you, presumably from man-in-the-middle attacks, was itself an enormous man-in-the-middle. These aren't our words, they're Facebook's. This is a man-in-the-middle approach. For Facebook, the intercepted data is a goldmine. After launching Instagram stories, they observed that Snapchat's growth slows, its stock value plummets. Facebook appears to be winning the war. But it seems Onavo was useful beyond just crushing a rival. According to the Wall Street Journal, Facebook could tell that live video was picking up through apps like Meerkat and Periscope. This helped guide their decision to add live video to Facebook. But over time, their certificate shenanigans became more difficult to pull off. The security of iOS and Android improved, so Facebook had to look for new ways in. According to court filings, Facebook internally considered exploiting Android's features designed to support users with disabilities. When we asked Facebook to comment on this, they didn't get back to us. And maybe all of this could have just been forgotten, buried tech history. But over the years, the public slowly started to realize what Facebook was up to. In a sense, users were warned. In the App Store description, Onavo did tell users it was tracking them. But they framed it as a way to build a better experience. Based on that language, it's doubtful users really understood the level of access the company had. When Project Ghostbusters launched, not everyone at Facebook was on board. The heads of the infrastructure engineering and security engineering departments both expressed their concerns by email. One wrote, "I can't think of a good argument for why this is okay. No security person is ever comfortable with this, no matter what consent we get from the general public. The general public just doesn't know how this stuff works. People familiar with the technology spoke to the press anonymously. In August 2017, they told the Wall Street Journal that Facebook had an internal early bird warning system, one that alerts them to potential new threats. It's Anavo. At the time, according to Facebook insiders, "Don't be too proud to copy" became an informal slogan within the company. Speaking to the public, Zuckerberg would claim it was normal for tech companies to build off of each other's innovations. In early 2018, a security researcher named Will Strofak took a closer look at how Anavo functioned on iOS. He discovered it was even more intrusive than the Wall Street Journal had reported. Wired also warned against Anavo. Nothing happened. But then 3 months later, Apple introduced new developer policies. It strictly banned apps from collecting data about other apps on a device, unless it was strictly necessary for the app to function. Apple warned Facebook that Anavo Protect violated this policy, and Facebook had no choice but to remove it from the App Store.
Many of our competitors have hundreds of millions or billions of users. Some are upstarts, but others are gatekeepers with the power to decide if we can even release our apps in their app stores to compete with them.
But it turns out Anavo was just the tip of the iceberg. Back in 2016, next to Anavo Protect, Facebook launches a shadow operation to specifically collect data on how teens use their phones. After all, they're often the first adopters of whatever app might become the next big threat. A project later called Project Atlas is born. Facebook offers teens and young adults up to $20 a month to install a VPN called Facebook Research. This app's code is later found to be suspiciously similar to that of Anavo Protect. Once installed, the app grants access to a user's internet history, including encrypted information and private messages with other users who have never given their consent. The whole project is shrouded in secrecy. An assessment of Facebook spokesperson later disputed. There was nothing secret about this. It was literally called the Facebook Research app. However, Facebook doesn't promote the app publicly. Instead, they rely on intermediaries who often don't reveal Facebook's involvement until users are already signing up. The VPN is also not listed publicly in the App Store. Instead, Facebook leverages the Apple Enterprise Developer Program, a system meant only for companies' employees to download work apps. By having users install an enterprise profile, Facebook bypasses the security measures Apple has in place for regular users. To join the so-called research program, users are guided through a complex installation process. When Apple's system displays a warning that the software could access their private data, Facebook tells them to ignore it. Users are told they're part of a social media study, but Facebook never discloses the true scale of the project. TechCrunch reports that users faced legal threats if they disclosed details, part of an effort to keep the project hidden. In January 2019, Facebook Research was finally exposed. TechCrunch worked with security researcher Will Strofak. He analyzed the full level of access the users, many of them minors, were granting Facebook. It became clear that this access even included private videos and messages, as well as real-time location data. And all that data went straight to a server using the same IP as Anavo Protect. When we asked Meta to comment on this, we didn't receive a response. 7 hours after the article was published, Facebook told TechCrunch it would shut down the iOS version of its research app.
Facebook accused of spying and using teenagers to help them.
People between the ages of 13 and 35 were paid up to $20 a month
to spy on their phones.
Photos, videos, location, web browsing history.
Hey, it's that guy from that I don't know how to build a Dame video.
I don't know how to build a dam. I don't know how to build a dam. Pussy.
I don't know. That was a pretty hard beaver edit. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
A month later,
Facebook is pulling its virtual private network, a VPN app.
That's some Chinese communist shit right there. Very anti-capitalistic. Should not be legal. Facebook's early bird warning system where they can quickly learn of a new rising star app through Anavo and then just copy it before they take off.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up and shit. Thanks for the donation, 21st.
App called Onavo from Google Play.
U.S. senators demanded answers, accusing Facebook of exploiting minors and sidestepping basic privacy safeguards. They condemned the program and questioned how meaningful consent could be when users were as young as 13. In 2023, Australia's federal court ruled that Facebook Israel and Onavo Incorporated had engaged in conduct liable to mislead consumers.
Today, the ACCC has instituted proceedings against Facebook in relation to the way it promoted its Onavo Protect app.
The two subsidiaries of Meta had marketed Onavo as a privacy tool while secretly using it to harvest data for Facebook's business purposes. The court ordered the companies to pay a combined $13 million in fines. We don't know who actually paid the fine, but for their parent company Meta, which turns a profit of way over $50 billion a year, this is pocket change. As technology becomes more sophisticated, privacy often takes a hit. It's become increasingly normal to set.
Well, that's what they do, I guess. I'm gonna take a nap. Oh boy. Oh fuck. Oh dear God. I'm really tired. I'm so tired. Fuck. Ugh. I beat Cuphead. I'm not gonna play that game more. I already beat it. So what's the point? Wow, that sound effect sucks. Why is it so quiet? It's way too quiet. This is better, but yeah, the other one's too quiet. Yeah, I played Battlefield 1. It's one of the worst games I've ever played in my life. Just pure trash. Complete and utter dog shit. That is one of the most inexcusably bad games ever fucking made. I don't even know why the fuck they made that piece of shit. It's just such a stupid game all around. Am I going the right way? Oh yeah. Do I have a grenade? Aren't bad guys supposed to be coming out here? Oh, maybe it's the other way.
Where is that? Okay. Feeling I'm not wanted around here.
Then how did it receive such positive reception, VG?
Here you go.
Jasmine, Yuri and Ryder nigga Jasmine, Yuri.
Why did they make that sound effect so quiet? It would be okay if it was loud. Really weird. I think Matilda sounds good.
The real horror aspect of this game is that I can donate that woman's name at any time and spook you.
Yeah. Thanks for the donation, 21st. Is there another one of them? Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck was that? What? What the fuck was that shit? Dodo Tillers react to this tomorrow. One Israeli versus 20 pro-Palestinian activists. Sure, why not? Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Dodo Tillers, man, this game is violent. I'm sure a lot of pacifist SJWs will complain, probably. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Oh, there they. Can you swap shoulders?
Here at ARC, your movements will be concentrated areas without authorization. The recording and transmitting of information is strictly prohibited.
Backup is on the way. Not necessary. I'll neutralize the target myself. Leon Kennedy. We finally meet. Didn't realize I had such a big fan. I was not around. I heard you were a smartass. Not bad for someone at death's door. Don't worry about me. How sweet.
The fuck? Fuck. Why in the fuck, dude?
Didn't realize I had such a big fan. I heard you were a smartass. Not bad for someone at death's door. Worry about me. How sweet.
What is with this fucking camera?
Don Fries are definitely a Viltrum.
Yeah, he might be. Thanks for the donation, dude.
Sneaky bastard.
Fuck. Why?
Get a little antsy, are we? Make no mistake. Nothing will stand in my way. I'll complete this mission. Ran into trouble. This guy was one tough bastard.
Coming from you, that's quite the compliment.
Grace should be nearby. Time to finally get some answers. Grace, this is where we are. The world is under threat. The technology to control another's will already exists, but it's not efficient at infecting others. I believe Spencer solved that with Elpis. The Connection sealed Raccoon City to save it for themselves, and it's been waiting here ever since. This is as far as we could get. If the wrong password is entered, the Ark will be destroyed and Elpis will be lost forever. So tell me, Grace, what's the password?
I don't know.
Of course you do. You're the...
Leon!
Don't embarrass yourself, Mr. Kennedy. You can't beat me.
Aren't we fancy?
Looked like his suit also healed.
Don't move! Oh, wait! You still need me.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, because the gun's longer. Yeah. That looks weird.
Come on! Grab time!
I got you.
Are you okay?
Me? I feel like $1,000,000.
Where does this take us?
Your guess is as good as mine. Time to get off. Come on.
What now? Leon. Leon!
Yeah, I'll play Pragmata. Oh.
Leon, are you okay?
How long was I out?
I don't know. A while. Those marks.
It's T-virus. Stage 3 infection.
If you're so sick, why would you come here?
This place. Raccoon City was where it all began for me. Where it all happened, I couldn't make a difference. So I am here now.
We can't stop Zeno.
He said something about you having a password. What was he talking about?
I don't know. I'm sorry. Here.
I'm going back. I'm gonna destroy Elvis.
I'm coming with you.
No, you're not.
I don't want any more regrets. Whatever it takes, count me in.
If anything happens to me, you promise you'll end this.
I promise.
Come on.
Spaghetti.
Look, there's a door over there.
Crane's blocking it, though.
I can check it out for us. You think you can give me a boost?
Guess we're about to find out. Come on. Watch out for yourself up there, yeah?
I will.
Oh, man. What the fuck?
Once I go down, there's no getting back up.
Grace has a butt.
Warning. Threat level orange. Confirmed
Grace
in
has a butt.
sector. Critical error. Containment lockdown failure.
Oh. I need to go to bed. I'm gonna go to bed. We're gonna be training tomorrow. Chest, shoulders, and triceps. So I will see you all then. We'll probably train pretty early in the morning, because I'm probably gonna get to bed earlier, and then hopefully I can maintain an earlier schedule each day. But hope you all had fun. Big thanks to everybody who donated on Streamlabs. Really appreciate it. And I will see you all tomorrow. Nighty night.